all the part of networking, completely depth about networking. Like you have to be thorough about all the OSI layers, what layers, which layers, and how many protocols are there in each layer, what is the functionality of each layer, how it works, and how in the real world.
In group discussion, there was like, if suppose we had 20 people selected for the JTAG, then there were a group of 5. In my example, that asked me to explain virtualization. So in technical terms, if I tell to a technical person, they understand. But suppose the person is from non-technical background, then how can I explain him in other words?
What the advanced services team does, it's like they do all sort of thing. They do data science and they do software development as well. So the 6 months of internship was in the field of data science, and now they have given me software development, basically in the field of front end, back end, database, and anything. That I was from the stream of electronics and communication. And there is a very peculiar thing which I will share later: bias, variance, trade-offs, and everything. So these were the basic questions in the field of machine learning they asked. 7 interviewers came in, and they were basically the interviewers who had interviewed all those 7 guys. For the HR round specifically, it's like how politically correct we are in giving our answers, because there was a great help of luck factor in my favor, because wherever I was strong in, I was strong in speaking, I was strong in expressing my thoughts, whatever technical knowledge I have, be it in machine learning field, be it in general areas, I was good in that. So I gave my best, because Juniper guys are very thorough. They will check everything.
The interviewer asked me like where you have deployed. Let me know that website. I'll go through it and I'll check how it is working. Like we should not put anything fake onto resume to impress the person.
What is that? And I was like, I don't know about it. I will learn about it. So the next interview, technical interview, to the same interviewer had come again along with others. They asked me the same question again.
In a sheet about yourself. Like the first question interviewer will shoot on you is, tell me about yourself.
One should not start with like, my name is this, my name is that.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like it can boost up your confidence level in the eyes of the interviewers.
You're already
Yeah.
behaving as if you are his teammate or colleague.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Even,
If you are nervous here in the interviews itself, how will you survive in the corporate world?
yeah.
That is
Yeah.
the main thing.
And if we don't know any answer, we just have to say straightly that we don't know instead of giving some anything.
As much as possible, try to make the interview, every round as interactive.
Yeah.
Because the more you speak in a discussion, the more impact you will have. Because the 3 people who are selected for advanced services,
I was interested in networking, like how we connect to internet, how this Wi-Fi works, how this router is there. This is all magic.
I
Yeah,
can say I
totally
was like
planned.
teleported. I was like teleported from.
That they also cross verify that hobbies which are mentioned. Do you actually have
Have
that as
it.
a hobby? As we have Juniper values, be bold, build trust, and deliver experience. That is what attracted me over there. I'm sitting here and texting a person, and it is reaching to America. So I wanted to know in seconds, in milliseconds, how it works.
But I can say one of the important perk of working in Juniper is the work culture itself.
I at least have troubled my manager a lot. I used to call him for silly reasons also.
Even I had discussed my gym routine with that director person. So they basically evaluate you on what you deliver at the end. But what happened in my case, as I mentioned, I was zero in everything. So
One time happened like I talked to my manager's son also.
It's all good. It's like first time we were seeing the office and was like too good.
too
Too
good.
pleasant
Yeah,
to see
too
the
good to
people.
be
Yeah.
true.
Too good.
Because I thought like, yeah, if I come here to work every day, I don't think I would be able to work. I'll be like enjoying over here, roaming around and all.
Yeah,
Then
that's
I know
true.
that actually.
That's true.
it would be beneficial to
Yeah.
our viewers basically. Yeah,
Right,
because
right.
whatever we have told is like we have told to the all the minute details we have told from our best. So yeah, if they look into the video till the end, it would be very beneficial to the people who are going to sit for the interviews.
Right, right. I think they got a glimpse of how the Juniper culture itself is and get a
Yes.
taste of all the roles that are there. They'll be really
Yes,
excited after seeing this video.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
right.
Yep.
I just hope it
Okay.
reached to as many people as possible. Thanks,
Yeah,
Sushant.
thank you to you
Thanks
guys.
a
It's
lot.
almost night 12:30 and you still guys dedicated to do this. So really
Ah, no
great.
worries, no worries. Basically, the
Yeah.
weekend, so
Huh.
good to wake up.
Directly on Monday.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Hello everyone. Today we have with us Aman, Soujanya and Nikita. And today they are here with us to share their interview experience with Juniper. They have cracked different roles and they recently completed their internship and started full-time working there. So it's great to have you guys here. Welcome. We can start the interview session experience one by one, and later we'll have Q&A
Thank-
sessions where we ask common questions to all. So first we can start with Soujanya. She'll be sharing her experience for professional services interview. Hi, Soujanya.
Hi, Shashank. Hello, everybody. This is Soujanya here. I'm from Kelly Technological University, Computer Science Department. Recently, I have joined Juniper, after my completing 6 months of internship in Juniper itself. And I have been hired for professional service role, which basically gives you a software engineer role in the department of GDCI. GDCI basically tells you about all the new products, which helps different countries also to interact and all that. And 20% of Juniper company is being operated by India. In that, 15% is on GDCI, that is professional service team. In that, I have been assigned as a software engineer one for now. Where will be given various projects regarding the development and automation part, like automating the systems. Currently, I have been assigned a DT NEAMS project, which is like automating and deploying the product kind of thing, which has been an active project in the different parts of Junipers, which are outside of India. uh, Coming to the experience, what I had during my interview joining as an intern in Juniper was there were 3 rounds. Initially, I was having 3 technical rounds, and the third round was depending, like it was varying with everybody. What I was having was third round was technical and also a management round. Then we were having an HR round. Totally, there were 4 rounds, like 2 technical, one management, and then there was an HR round. The first round, which was a technical one round, which basically was about all the part of networking, completely depth about networking. Like you have to be thorough about all the OSI layers, what layers, which layers, and how many protocols are there in each layer, what is the functionality of each layer, how it works, and how in the real world, how it is being projected. You explain everything by just giving a real world example. Like theoretical will not attract the interviewer a lot, because if you give a real world example to them and explain the concept, they'll think that you are deep dived into that concept and knowing it properly, and you are good at those concepts. And the interviewer also will be interested to know that how much you're deep into that topics. Like what asked about networking was like, what is DHCP, how does it work, and what are the real world examples of DHCP, and what is DORA process, how does it work, and give me an example how it is being implemented in your college, how routers, switches, and Wi-Fi is managed in your college, how does it work, and do you know like how it is working, and have you ever visited data center in your college, and all that. And in also they ask like how IP works, what is which is more important, whether IP is more important or MAC address is important. You have to give them scenario like, if what is not there, then network will not flow. Like if I say MAC and IP, if you have IP, then you can travel anywhere. In that way, you have to just give them all the kind of example. Just take a simple topology, take a star topology, take a bus topology, anything, and then just explain it like how it goes in real world. They might get it much more prettier, nice way, and also they get that you are well prepared in that topics also. Basically, by seeing my like asking my friends also, who were others being interviewed for professional service, even they were asked about networking only. The first round is basically all about networking, and also they'll ask you like which topics you're interested. If you are thorough with OS and all that, you can just tell that this is my favorite topic or favorite subject. They will go into that subject also. This was all about the first part of the interview, that is interview one. And then the second round comes is a technical two round, which was around for 1 hour, you can say 60 minutes, which was mixed out of everything. They asked me regarding operating systems, some networking and coding part also, like when languages I know, and what all I know about Juniper, like how well I'm about the company also, like how it works, what it works, how product based company it is, and all that. Then in the second round, it was like they asked me which language you know. I just said like C++, Python, and all Java and all that. Then he asked me to do a coding on Python. Like he just gave me an IP address. Like as we know that IP address is four sections, right? A B C D. In that he'll give me an IP address. I have to take an IP address in the same way, like 50:60:70:30. I have to take it in that way, and then I have to separate it and also tell the host, like what is the host number and all that. I have to differentiate all those individually ABCD and identify the class values inside that, all that. It was all about that coding part. Then also they asked me about the security part also, like RSA algorithm, what is RSA algorithm, how it is implemented, where it is implemented, and other different kinds of security algorithms which you know. And do you know which security algorithms or what Juniper is using, and how they're implementing in the real world part, and all that. Then there were some puzzles also given to me, like you'll be given two bottles with 3 liter and 4 liter, and you have to give me measure and give me 5 liters of water. And what do you do for that? All these logical questions were also being asked. And apart from this, there were some questions on OS also, like about the resource management and the paging and all that. Then this was all about the second round, which, as I said, which went for 60 minutes. And then the third round was it was including technical and also a managemental round, where they just gave me more puzzles and asked like how my management skills are there. That all was being checked there. And also some technicals, you can say, like mixture of computer networks, operating system, and bit of coding. This all was there in the third round. These all three rounds were held on the single day, like morning for at 10 o'clock there was the first round, then at 2 o'clock there was the second round, and the evening at the 5 o'clock there was the third round. And then we got a mail regarding the HR round for the next day, which was next day on 11 o'clock. In HR there was nothing much. They just asked the details and where we stay, what we do, and are we really interested to join in Juniper, do we have any other offers also with us, and all that. And they asked if I have any questions for them. Then I asked like if we have any opportunities, we can be like on-sited. Are we having any opportunities that we can be sent to some other country to work under the Juniper only? And also some opportunities like will Juniper like sponsor us to do higher studies if we are interested in further on joining the company. All these was there. And then they just provided me the details, like if we have any queries regarding the like if we have to approach anybody once we join the Juniper, and if you want to help, if you want some help, then they will be available there. All this was there. And this was the end of my interview. Thank you.
Okay, nice. Looks like they pretty much covered every depth and breadth of computer networks. I was just directly recalled last time I studied them for exams only, because now I don't go so much depth. Yeah, that was great. So
Thank you.
next we can, yeah, we can move on with Nikita.
So hi Shashank, hi everyone. I'm Nikita. So I was selected for the TAC role, that is Juniper TAC, which we tell as Juniper Technical Assistance Center. So here the main in this domain, what we do is we handle the customers and their cases. We troubleshoot the customer cases. So mainly on basis of our resume, we were shortlisted for this role by the Juniper team themselves. And after that, we were also switched into different, like compared to other AS and PS, we had different sort of interview. So we also had 4 rounds, where first one was a group discussion round, then covered followed by technical round 1, then technical round 2, and then we had the HR round. So these were the 4 rounds we had. So coming to the group discussion, in group discussion there was like if suppose we had 20 people selected for the JTAC, then there were group of 5 each, and then there were 2 people, there were 2 interviewer who would handle the group discussion. In that, they would see like how we stand in a group. Basically, they asked us the question like how can we convince a group, and how is our communication skill. The communication and convincing skill was being observed over there. That is
Is it
what I
like
observed
convincing
over
group
there.
or like the way usually they do debating or discuss on that?
Shashank, it was more like when you say a point, right? Suppose you tell something to the customer that this is the thing. So it is how you convince the customer, because every person has a different perspective. So it was like the convincing power. So that was what they had observed over there. In my example, that asked me to explain virtualization. So in technical terms, if I tell to a technical person, they understand. But suppose the person is from non-technical background, then how can I explain him in other words? So that was how I said, okay, in other words, in simple words, we can explain virtualization in this way. So that was how a group discussion carried out, and there were many like that scenarios given. So coming to the next round, that was technical round one. So there were again two interviewers over there, and in that
Like
round,
for
it was
shortlisting from group round, is it like only few people from a group like that, or overall they hire? Like it may be everyone from a group or no one from a group.
in my case, there were five people, and two of them had proceeded further for the next round.
Okay.
So three were dropped from there. So it was like they were very keen in taking each one of them. So they were like very conscious about every person. Coming to the next round, which was technical round one. It was like a basic interview, a basic technical interview, which was completing all the OSI layers, the basics of computer fundamentals, as we say, what is ping, why it is done, then what is IP, what is MAC address, then what is VPN. Suppose there is a topology given, then how will you solve it? Then also we were asked about Juno's OS architecture. This architecture was covered in the Gencia test which we had appeared for, and post clearance of which we were able to give the interview. So that thing also was asked in the interview, like how is it done, what are the different modes of CLI. So that certification part was the main route for this interview, we can say. So it was more over technical, and the main focus was on Juno's OS architecture, OSI layers working, and how the operational commands, the CLI commands, the configurational commands work. So how the basic commands also were asked, like you suppose you want to run that I want to run some topology, then what is the command you run? If we want some kind of output, what is the command? So it was also command related. Also they were asked like if you have knowledge of Linux, do you know Linux commands, how to use them? So that was also was asked. And mainly they also focus on your resume, like what resume you have given and what you are telling, that it should exactly match. It should not be something that you just say. So they also ask about your hobbies. Suppose you have given a hobby, then they ask like how it was done, how were you motivated by it, how did you get inspired to do it. So that sort of thing. And it was a very good interview, a very interactive interview, we can say. uh, so first GD, which we had at 10 o'clock, and then technical round, which we had around 4 o'clock. These were the two things we had in the first day. Then evening the results were announced, and it was for next round, that is technical interview 2, which was on next day at 11 o'clock, we can say. So that was a advanced level interview, we can say. There were like different actually the TAC role has different teams again, that is routing, switching, and security. So routing teams usually handles routers, switching for switches, and security for SRX devices. This is security related. So in that technical interview too, they have seen like how to select a candidate for a particular domain. It's also like they ask the candidate which they wish to join, but it was also like they see the candidate's knowledge on a particular topic. Suppose if I was chosen for routing role, they ask me the questions related to routers and my interest towards routers. So that is what I helped them to push me towards routing team. So that was how it was done. So it was more of a technical thing, and more questions related to that domain, that is how router works, how the routing protocols work. So they were asked, and how we know that as per our college requirements, we knew the only the basics routing protocols, so that were sufficient over here. So those helped out. So we and also they were asked like the scenarios were given. Suppose there is a topology to be built, then how suppose you have these number of routers and these number of switches, then how will you build a topology between four departments? So that sort of question, like we have to minimize the routers and switches and give a proper network topology. So that was how it was done. and it was nearly again for 60 minutes. So each interview was around 50 to 60 minutes, we can say. The interviews were a little long. And post that, the second day evening itself, we got a call for HR round. HR round was a short interview, we can say, where it was generally asked about the same as Soujanya has mentioned, that if we have any further plans for study and how much we are interested into Juniper and why we are joining Juniper. So it was our passion which will explain the interviewers, which we have to explain to the interviewers that that makes a point for them to attract. And other thing we can say is, even if we have any question, we are very free, feel free to open. And I really found the people to be very kind and interactive. So there was like I never felt that we can't ask a question. So there was always open for any questions, and we could proceed. So it was a very interactive discussion. The overall interview was very interactive and very productive also. It was like if something I didn't knew, they answered me back and they explained me that this is how it goes. So it was adding knowledge again. So we can say that. Yeah, so that's what
Okay.
my interview was. And post my 6 months of internship, in internship we were again given training. Specifically, I was in the routing team, so I was given a routing training, that how as per the requirement, there were 8-week training program. So it was a very beneficial and productive training which helped us a lot. And that post that training, we handle customer cases. And in customer cases, it's usually like you interact with customer, go on a call with the customer if required, and have a live troubleshooting call with customer and troubleshoot their problem. And in JTAC, again, you have two roles. That is, one is JTAC, another is CFTS. So from our batch, there were also two people who were hired for CFTS. So that is just a customer focused technical support. So that goes to other team. And JTAC, in JTAC we have again routing, switching, and security. So that is how the whole JTAC is divided into. So
Okay.
that's all it was all about. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So I think you'll have another case to troubleshoot today. Like Nikita almost had a whole day network issue today. So it's almost nearing night 12 now, but you guys are still great that you guys are still here to share your experience. Yeah, hi, Aman, we can start with you.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, first of all, thanks Shashank for having me here. So I was selected for the advanced services role in Juniper Networks, and the basic procedure which was followed was the 6 month internship, and then after that, the conversions were on the way. So what I did in the 6 months of internship is like when they came for the selection, the main requirement in the advanced services role was in the field of machine learning and data science actually, because in the interview process itself, three people were selected from our college from advanced services actually, and I have interacted with all the three of them, including me. So I have interacted with two of them. So I asked them what was being asked, and also they didn't mention anything about networking or any sort of thing like that. Like computer networking was required. What we thought initially, like since it is a networking company, product-based networking company, so what we thought is like there might be a questions of networking and all, but it wasn't like that. So the main requirement was machine learning in the data science field and all. So I did my internship for 6 months. I was given two projects in machine learning domain actually. So one was the individual projects, one was team project, and I was also given a role of project management as well, wherein I had some exposure to agile project management and everything. So I was involved in that as well. And post my conversion, it's basically like I have been assigned software development sort of role, because what the advanced services team does, it's like they do all sort of thing. They do data science and they do software development as well. So the 6 months of internship was in the field of data science, and now they have given me software development, basically in the field of front end, back end, database, and anything. So it's just the starting actually. So yeah, I'm currently doing that. So this was all about me. And yeah, I forgot to give the introduction about myself, is that I was from the stream of electronics and communication. And there is a very peculiar thing which I will share later in this call. So coming about the internship experience, it was as the previous two of my friends, they mentioned that it was of 4 rounds. It was actually for 4 rounds for us as well, but the pattern was sort of different. In the first round, which went for like 45 to 50 minutes, it was like there was 3 people in the call, including me. There were two other interviewers, and what I observed throughout the all the rounds of interviews, I observed that there was a higher official, the person who were on a higher position, basically the managerial position and all, and alongside the one there was those our seniors who were our college pass outs who were working in Juniper. So in all of the 3 rounds, I had experienced some of my seniors basically who were there interviewing me. So I'm not sure it happened to the other teams, but I observed this pattern, and it was being followed in the advanced services interviews. I asked some of my friends as well. So in the first round, it was basically a general discussion, I can say. It was not a group discussion. It was the discussion between 3 people. It started off by looking at the resume. Actually, they picked up one of my project and they asked to explain what actually it is. So when I went on to explain, then they picked out some points from that, and then they started taking a turn into a general open discussion about it. It was basically in order to test how well you speak, how well you can defend your answers, what you give. It can be in general questions, it can be in general answers, it can be technical questions or the technical answers, but the basic thing which was being checked was how confident you are in giving your answers, and how clarity you have in your expressions and in your thoughts and all. So it went like it accelerated all throughout till the end, from one question to another question. Whatever the answers I was giving, they picked up question from that and they went on opposing my answers. Like it was sort of like that, if I give this answer, they create a scenario from that and they said that if this thing doesn't happen like what you are thinking, if that doesn't happen, how can you give an alternate solution for that? So there were like, it went on to different regions actually. It went to COVID, for then it went to online shopping, then it went to marketing, it went to different, like it was very open variety of topics which was being discussed. But I can say the main thing which they tested is like how I can stand on my thoughts actually, because they had poked me on one of the answers they picked out. What I gave, they picked one of the answer, and they kept on questioning on that. Like they questioned me on that 4 times, and they tried to like deviate me from my solutions. Like I gave that answer and and they created 4 scenarios from that. Like this, if this doesn't happen, you can get derailed from this way, you can get derailed from the third way. So what will you do? So I kept on giving them alternate solutions and all. So I can say the main thing which was being tested is like how clear you are about your thoughts, about your solutions, and how well you can explain yourself. So that was the first round actually. And then we moved on to the second round, which was a technical round. So again, there were 2 interviewers. One was a senior personnel, and one was just below to that. And the other one was actually our Keli Tech pass out itself, 2 year or 3 years back. I'm not sure about that. So the questions which was being asked was basically whatever I had mentioned in my resume. It went on for 45 minutes actually. So they asked about all of my projects, whatever I had mentioned, the explanation, and what was the need of doing that project and all. So whatever the technologies has been used in that project, they asked about that. And as I mentioned, one peculiar thing I want to share is like I was from core electronics domain. Like whatever I had studied for like past 3 years before the placement, I was in the part of ADLD field, Advanced Digital Logic Design. So I was doing like core electronic coding and all in the field of Verilog and everything. I just sat for this company because I was not getting any chance in any other company. I had set for like 3 companies before to Juniper, and I was rejected. So I just thought that just give it a try over here. So I wasn't in the field of programming or any kind of thing like that. I just knew C, I knew C++, oops and all, because the basic programming thing which was being taught to the EC people. So I knew only those things, but I didn't knew in depth programming and all. So I didn't mention them as well. I did mention machine learning actually because it was being taught to us, and I can say that was the important factor because of which I got differentiated from JTAC to that advanced services. Because what I prepared for Juniper, I prepared kept in mind that I will prepare for JTAC. So I studied computer networking like 1 week prior to the visit, and I studied and everything. So I was thinking like I will get a role in JTAC and I will go for the JTAC interviews, but I got eventually selected for advanced services. So it just goes to show you that things doesn't go the way you think they will. So
Correct.
it will happen throughout. So yeah, that was one thing. And then I
And
can say
computer
that was one
networks
of
is
the,
something you guys have in the sixth sem or seventh sem?
I am not sure, it was in the fifth, I guess. I
Okay,
guess
so
Yeah.
it
you
was in the
had the
fifth or
course
sixth. I'm
and
not
you
sure about that.
right.
Yeah, for
Because for computer
computer
science
science,
it is happens one little earlier. For
Yeah.
EC it is
It's
little
from
later,
fifth.
I think.
yeah, fifth
Right,
and
right.
sixth
So
we
you
had.
had a course,
Yeah.
and before interview, like 1 week before, you just had a revision, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Okay.
did. Yeah, what I did, and I can say that was one of the reason that I didn't mention anything related to programming or anything like that. So that was one of the reason there were less technical question in that field. They asked me more about my projects and all, and it was mostly related to electronics, Verilog, and everything. So I guess that one was one of the reason they were not able to ask questions on that, but they did ask me questions on machine learning field and everything, like basic questions, what actually machine learning is, how you can give a real world example of machine learning, what is the basic flow of building a machine learning models. They did ask me about data cleaning, they did ask me about vectorization, why it is being used. They did ask me about post validation of a machine learning model. They did ask me, I'm not sure I do remember that correctly, but they asked me about bias, variance, trade-offs, and everything. So these were the basic questions in the field of machine learning they asked. They didn't ask me any such of programming questions, but there was one of the project which was a very basic project in the field of which wherein I had used OOPS concepts and all everything. So they did touch some of the OOPS concepts which was mentioned in my project. So they did just some basic part of that, and so yeah, that was the technical interview. So I was like, I was not sure because I was like, yeah, they didn't ask me much of the questions and all. So like whatever they had asked, I had answered everything. It went for 45 minutes, so I was not that confident that I will go forward. But I'm not sure how I went. But the previous two, but these two interviews went really well according to me, because whatever being asked, I did give my best. So coming to the third interview, it was a group discussions kind of thing, we can say, because all the interviews were elimination round. So in the third interview, five people came in, or actually seven people were there, who were the guys who were selected from for advanced services. From that, seven people finally came to the third round, and in the front, seven people also came. The interviewers I'm talking about, seven interviewers came in, and they were basically the interviewers who had interviewed all those seven guys, and one or two new faces might be there. So it went for around 1 hour 30 minutes, actually 1.5 hours that round went. And it was basically around wherein you would be given a real world scenario, sort of a question, which could be a dummy question or it could be a real world case. There were some dummy datas were given, and we were given like 20 minutes of time to come up with a technical solution for that issue. And then after 20 minutes, we would have to present our solution, whatever we come up with. And then those seven interviewers could come in one by one and then can ask questions based on the solution what we give. So in that round, I can say what was being tested is like our technical ability to like think how quickly we can think of a technical solution for any case, whatever we are being given, and how we can present it in a team. Our communication skills would be checked over there. Our team coordination would be checked, and what all team ethics we need to follow when we work in a team, that can be checked. And priority can be given to the technical answers what you give based on the solution. So I guess for us it was basically based on hunger issue in India. Like there are so many restaurants in India, and there are so many foods going to waste, but there are still a lot of majority of people. There were some data given, so there were this percentage of people who are still below poverty line, who are still not giving enough food. So how can you provide a solution for that, wherein the food which goes for waste can be used to feed all those needy people? So 20 minutes time was given, so we came up with a certain solution based on we looked into and touched into a machine learning models and all. We thought what we thought we presented that we would build certain live app which can be used by different peoples, and it can be interactive and all. I'm not sure I remember it correctly, but yeah, this was one of the solution which was given. And then the interviewers came in, they asked questions one by one. It was like how will you deploy this app, and then they just nitpicked that how will you do this, how will you do that, there can be this issue. They went from technical issues to marketing, business, then how will you arrange the funds and all. So they touched every aspect. Okay. And then the questions were asked can be open to all, like all the team, or it can be specific to a particular individual. It can depend upon the interviewer who is asking the question. So it was like that. So it 20 minutes were giving for the solution, and then 1 hour was went on for the question and answer round. So yeah, that was the thing. And then after this round, three of the people were selected for HR and for the advanced services, and then all the three eventually got selected for internship as well. So in the HR round, it was like just basic HR questions, like a typical HR question which everyone asks. So those were being asked. It went on for 40 minutes actually. So yeah, I can say what they checked is our interest in the company, like how keenly we want to join. They do check how well do we know about Juniper. Like it's not like they asked questions, but they can she because the HR who was asking the question, she asked me one of the question like if you want to join Juniper so keenly and all, so what actually do you know about Juniper and what we do. So they asked that. So I can say if we can look into Juniper history, if we can look into what Juniper is currently doing, so that can be a plus point for the people who are sitting for the placement. I can say that. And then one more thing I can say is like for the HR round specifically, it's like how politically correct we are in giving our answers, because the HR rounds are like very general as of now, because it's not like there are very innovative questions being asked in HR round. Like all the rounds are pretty much same, it be it any company, because they also know what answer they are expecting, because as being a fresher, everyone wants to get hired actually. So they can expect, yeah, they will give the answers in the best way possible and all. So one can also assure, like while giving the answer, they should not overdo it, so because that happens quite a lot. So whatever we feel is genuine, you can answer that. Otherwise, because genuinity matter a lot here, whatever you are putting in your opinions, because I have seen many a times when HR people ask, like, "Do you have any questions for us?" Because that is one of the important question I can say. Because many of the people, like, if their round goes well from the top to till the end, so they say they think of themselves that yeah, it had went well, so I don't have any question, I'm happy and all. But at this point, that is one of the important question which you need to answer. That yeah, you should have a question, but it should not be like very dummy question like yeah, how is the work culture and all. No, like if it is genuine, do ask it, but you should not ask it for the sake of asking, because they are HR guys, they have been working in the field for like 10 or 12 years, so that will go in the minus aspect, I can say that. So yeah, that is about my experience.
Right, nice. So yeah, like I'll start off with a question from you only. Like you said, there was machine learning round. It was basic only. So was it like whatever is in curriculum which you prepared was enough, or did you take interest and do some certification online or go to some clubs like CVG or AI Lab like that?
I can say I'm not sure, because I can say my case is like very unique. I can say that, because whatever company I had said before Juniper, it was basically in the field of electronics, core electronics field. I did sit for Deloitte and all, but I just said it for the sake of like if I get selected, it would be in hand and all. I'll prepare for the core companies when they will come, Texas and everyone. So I was like, yeah, just Juniper came in. Some of my friends were there. I was like, I got I because Juniper message and mails started coming when we joined in seventh semester. Actually, in the starting itself, they just sent an email and all that if you are interested, you can just enroll in, because the cutoff CGPA was 9 and all. So I maintained that and I got enrolled, and I thought like, let's see what happens in future. So I just got enrolled over there. So there was a time for certification. Some of my friend pushed me into this. Just give it a try and let's see if nothing goes well. Then this can be another option. So I did studied computer network when it was in my curriculum. I got little bit of interest in that, but I didn't prepare it in that depth when I was studying it for the curriculum. Actually, I gave the certification exam. I got it cleared, but when the company actually came, I was like zero in programming. I can say what I can say. I was like I didn't need to use C or C++ for HDL coding. I was using Verilog and all, so it was completely new for me and all. So I did study machine learning, but in theoretical knowledge I did have, but not that practical coding knowledge, I can say. So when I sat, I thought like three companies I had said, I was like, no hope. Let's just give it a try. So I studied networking subject 1 week prior to the actual interviews. I did studied it completely, but as I mentioned, it was of no use. So I can say there was a great help of luck factor in my favor, because wherever I was strong in speaking, I was strong in expressing my thoughts. Whatever technical knowledge I have, be it in machine learning field, be it in general areas, I was good in that. So I gave my best. So I got selected in that way. But there were some other guys as well who were being asked machine learning in depth, who were being asked computer networking in depth. So who were being asked some of the programming questions as well in advanced services I'm talking about. So I can say people should not rely on what experience I had. It can be a unique experience what I had. I can say I was lucky enough to to become a part of Juniper, but um, you should be strong in the programming field. You should be strong in machine learning domain to be a part of advanced services team, or in general
Right.
any of the role. You should be strong in the core field areas.
Right, right. Yeah, so as you said, luck factor will be there, but as long as you capitalize on your strengths, that luck factor also you can try to bring it in your favor.
Yeah, luck factor, yeah, actually it got into my favor just because I was confident enough in giving my answers. There were like two three answers which I gave, I was not that confident. I didn't knew much technically about it, but whatever knowledge I had I gave, but I told it in a confident way. Whatever I had expressed, I was confident on myself. So I can say they thought that I'm not sure, they thought that yeah, this guy is confident enough that you can capitalize in future. I can say that, but I'm not sure.
Right, right. So what do you guys think, Nikita and Sojan? Like, was it similar for your case? What's your opinion on luck factor?
Okay, let's Nikita started.
Okay. So yeah, luck factor is also important. We say that like some companies where our luck is written, we get placed there, and some if we dream of also like they said go behind. Luck factor is important, but sometimes the way we present is more important. It's like the confidence level, and the main thing you say, right? You should always have smile on your face, which will give you more confidence. So always carry that confidence. Have believe in yourself that yes, if you're telling something, you're telling for some good. You're telling
Yeah.
something better. So always enhance yourself, and don't think that if you got dropped in some other company, don't take it as a rejection. It actually will go in that phase that yeah, if you're not done in two companies, then we get depressed kind of. But believe in yourself and continue doing that, because we will get placed. It's just time of some time. We have to be patient enough to have a good company in
Right,
our hand. Yeah.
right.
Because it's one can say it's just a continuous learning process, because
Yes.
Yeah,
as I
yeah.
joined this advanced services team, actually I can say it's team specific. I can say I'm not sure about the other teams, but what I can say is like when I joined in, I had zero knowledge of anything, be it in data science stream or be it in web development. I was not having any knowledge. In the 6 months, I learned data science, I learned machine learning, how to practically do it, and I did all those projects. In now, I had started my full time in web development domain. I don't have a knowledge of anything. I'm currently learning JavaScript now. but it's just like, if you are confident enough, because the
Yeah.
person who is interviewing in front, he can sense that, because you are a keen learner, he can sense that, he can capitalize in future. So that
Right.
plays a very important role, that confidence plays an important role in this way. So I am
Right.
learning this, so it will go to anyone else who in future is going to sit for this company.
Right,
Yeah.
learning ability definitely. I can add to that. Like one of my friend was also saying, like after he had internship, like what computer network he learned in college is nothing compared to what they're working. He's
Yeah,
working in kernel
I
exactly.
like
development in
I agree
Juniper.
Yeah,
with that.
we have to show that confidence. Like if that is new, also I'll do it and work on that. If that
Hmm.
confidence you show, then definitely it'll work out. Because
Right.
Because you see, when I mentioned about confidence, when I mentioned about thorough knowledge of the code, all come in a mixture. Because it's not like you had talked to Nikita, you had talked to Soujanya, all the interviews were more, because the average length, I can say, it was 45 minutes. It was not like they
yeah,
just took interviews, there were 75 or 80 people, but for everyone they took it like in this way. Because Juniper guys are very thorough. They will check everything, be it in the field of core or be it in the field of general discussion. They will check in every point, each and every point they will clear out, and then they will move forward. Because I
yeah,
have sit for companies before. There were interviews which got wrapped up in 10 minutes, which got wrapped up in 15 or 20 minutes. But it is not like in Juniper. uh, until the interviewer is satisfied from his end, even if you don't give the answer of the first two questions or the first three questions, until he is not satisfied with all his question, he will not leave you.
yeah. He'll like in my case only, they'll go thoroughly through our resume. Like I was having a project on machine learning only about MobileNet v3. The interviewer asked me like where you have deployed. Let me know that website. I'll go through it and I'll check how it is working. Like we should not put anything fake onto resume to impress the person in front. It should be reality, right? If they check, then we'll be into the trouble that it's not working, it's not there, and we have put into the resume. And if that opportunity was been there for us, then we'll lose it because of only
Right.
the silly mistakes.
Right.
Like we have to be careful and cautious whenever we create our resume, that whatever we put is correct, accurate, and I know all that whatever is there in my resume thoroughly. No, no generalizing and everything. Put everything in the particular way, whichever you know. Nothing like whichever in the common way you can put. You can say.
Right.
And
Right.
Shashank, adding to your point, the continuous learning, I would like to say something which had happened in my interview. So it was like in technical interview, one they asked, threw a question on me, telling what is this, what is that, and I was like, I don't know about it. I will learn about it. So the next interview, technical interview, to the same interviewer had come again along with others. They asked me the same question again, and I was like,
Okay.
I wasn't able to answer last time, right? So when I had time, I seen, okay, what did he ask me? Let me see, let me Google, let me read
Okay.
something about it. And then I was able to answer. Then he was like, oh, smiling and telling that, oh, you have learned about it. That is how they test you,
Yeah.
you know. That is how you
Nice.
continuously learn. If you don't know right now, then how can you, do you have ability to take it further? It's not like just live it. So that is how they see continuous learning in you. So that is what
Right.
happened to me.
Right, right. Yeah, that's a nice habit to have, regardless whether it's the final round of interview. Also, if you have that
Yeah,
attitude, oh, what is this something new? Let me try learning that.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we can just go through this. Like, if anything related to this or any specific questions you guys you think can add to. So before interview, any suggestions? Like if
yeah.
one, like now, I think they have 2 weeks. So any specific suggestion for like they can do now or one day before, like that?
Yeah, I would suggest one thing like write in a sheet about yourself. Like the first question interviewer will shoot on you is tell me about yourself. The one
Right.
thing in that is you have to show very nice confidence and you have to show like how well you know yourself. That matters a lot. Give a nice description about yourself. Like give like a brief thing like what you are, from where you are, what your family does, and
Right.
what you have done during your entire engineering. Just add few things like what all projects. Sometimes what happens is what you tell about in yourself, no, they might ask you or shoot out question on that only. That happened
Yeah.
with me. Like I added some of the project, like whatever I worked during internship, or like you can say in my engineering. They just shooted me questions like, what was this? What project is this? How did you work? It was a teamwork or all that. And also tell that if you are a good team worker or not, because that also matter. Even they want you to interact with everybody, do nice teamwork, and have a nice time management thing, and also do some extracurricular works also, not only like only studious kind of thing. Have some extracurricular habit things also, that may also attract them when you say about yourself.
Yeah. And adding to the point of telling about yourself, I can say like one should not start with like my name is this, my name is that.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like it's like very old, and if you start up with that, you can see the expression on the interviewer's face. It will
Yeah,
tell you like
sure.
you should not. So that is one thing. And as Soujanya mentioned, yeah, it's basically a starter wherein they can pick out and then they can start off. Yeah, now
Yeah,
let's get started. So that is one thing.
Yeah,
yeah.
as they say, first impression is the last impression.
Impression,
So
yeah.
always try to
Yes,
impress at the first interaction itself.
And
yes,
never show the nervousness on the face, like keep a wide
never,
smile
never,
on the face.
never,
Right, right.
because that if you are nervous here in the interviews itself, how will you survive in the corporate world?
Yeah,
That is
yeah,
the main thing they can look
they
into.
look for, yeah.
And
Right.
online
So you
round,
said,
actually, you can, yeah, there was no
yeah, you
online
said,
round as such, so I we can skip upon that. Resume, actually, all of us has mentioned because it is the main
right.
thing on which we will be differentiated. Now,
So one thing
Shashank,
on
you have
tell
said
about
something.
yourself, yeah, you said we should not say my name is or like that, right? Like what you should ideally start with, like how some examples of how we can start with.
Yeah, actually, I did prepare a speech about myself. I personally
Even I
forgot that.
did.
So,
Right. Even I
Even
had a
now,
sheet, like I had a Google Doc with it was reiterating every now and then, like along with my resume.
yeah,
It also used to get
yeah,
modified.
I just
I
have
used to
to
practice with myself
see.
so many times.
Yeah,
I,
I
I,
just have
I,
so
what I can
many.
suggest, is like you just go on YouTube and just search
Yeah,
for
yeah,
how to start. What I did was the same. I'm not sure what I said actually, but yeah, the YouTube is the best thing which one can refer as of now.
yeah.
Okay,
Go
okay.
through different types of tell me about yourself, and merge all and make a best out of it.
Yeah, best
Right.
5 minute introduction you can just put in, and it should
Yeah.
not be long as well. It should not be
Yeah,
like
5
10 to
minutes
15
would
minutes
be
to go.
too much. Yeah,
Yeah,
5 minutes
Yeah.
would be too much. 1 minute or 2 minutes would be fine, because the interview will be bored if you tell more about yourself only.
Yeah.
yes,
And
Short and sweet, covering everything in short time.
Yeah,
yes.
And
Point to
other
point.
point I would like to add, if something they specifically want to mention, please don't hesitate. Just go ahead and tell up. It's interview will be again impressed that you don't hesitate. You just follow up with your
Yes,
thoughts. So
yes,
never hesitate to tell anything, any sort of. If you feel if you have to tell, there's something special you want to tell, just mention them. It will give them present instead. So they'll be
yeah,
happy listening
Right.
to you, and they'll be like, "Oh,
yes,
she's telling something more. Let us hear her."
yes. Adding to
Right,
this
that's
point
what the
itself,
question is about. They want to know more about who you are. Like they will definitely
yeah,
assess your technical things rest of the time. They want to know more about you. That was a
yeah,
good thing to
yeah,
add.
yeah. And adding to Nikita's point over here, I can say in the first round of my interview, which was a general sort of a discussion, I can say, in that when we talk, actually, it should not be like you are giving answer to a particular question to any teacher or something. It should be
Right.
like if you include hand
and
gesture, when you are giving answer, if you include what do you think about that. I was like, yeah. When I was giving the answers, I was thinking one of my interviewer was there. So I was thinking, yeah, I think I'm correct. What do you think about it? I just counter question the interviewers as well. So that can be one of that can lead to a good impression that yeah, this person is more interactive. This person is confident. Yeah, the confident part, it goes into that itself. It can boost
Right.
up your confidence level in the eyes of the interviewers.
You're already
yeah,
behaving as if you are his teammate or colleague.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
even like
Right,
if there
right.
is, you have to answer something on based on scenario. Just
Yes.
involve that interview also. Like say, you are defining some topology or something. Say that if you are team A, then I'm team B. Then this will happen. This communication will come to you, and you will give me back this way. If you involve him also, he'll listen to you and get to know that you know the topic nicely. You can answer everything nicely, and
Yeah,
he'll be like,
because
Right.
I did involve some of the jokings as well, because making the
yeah.
interview lively is one, I can say, is one of the important aspect. And I can say it could have played one of the percent of 1% of role in my selection, I can say. I'm not sure, but it could have played.
Yeah.
They will anyway train rigorously. What they want really is your learning ability, how lively or a
Yes,
positive addition you'll be for their organization or
yes,
team.
yes.
And if we don't know any answer, we just have to say straightly that we don't know instead of giving some anything foolishness
Ah,
answer,
Yeah.
because they'll put us into loop back again, asking new questions on the same part. Just say I
yes,
don't know, I'll learn it, and then like it will
yes.
stop and then go to next topic instead of getting looped in and getting out of that by our own self. It is better say that I don't know. It will be a nice answer, you can say.
Right, right. So, what suggestion like during interview or just before interview, like for nervousness or revising last minute?
I would say that the day of interview, don't study anything. Just go calmly and sit in front of computer and just log in, and it will be very nice. Just be confident. Everything will go fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as much as possible, try to make the interview, every round as interactive,
Yeah,
because that's the main thing which attracts. So it's not like just listening to them or just telling something. Try to make it interactive. That's a key point I can say, which interviewers look for.
and yeah, we
yes,
should be in a good attire also, like presentable and comfortable also, so that they also feel bit impressive with our attire also, because sometimes even that matters how we dress up and sit in front of them if it is an online. And if it is offline, then they would just check it out you from top to bottom how you wear your attire,
Right,
because that also matters in IT, right? So you have to
right.
be dressed also.
Yeah, in my case,
okay,
my interviewer was happy when I was like, let me switch on my camera. So I was like, oh, you
okay,
asked this question, I'm happy with it. So
okay,
that's
Okay.
what, be very open, be kind of what you are. So don't try
okay,
to be something which you are not. They'll easily
okay.
understand. They'll take you up very seriously.
Yeah,
It's like,
and
Right.
yeah, and if it is online interview, I would say instead of seeing their photo, just see on the camera, because it will feel like you're seeing to them. If we
Yes,
see into the photo, then it will be not like an eye contact. We have to just
yes,
Right,
focus
right.
on camera. It would be much more interactive for him also.
Correct.
yes. And about that point of addressing by sir, I don't think it was necessary. If you address them by their
Yeah.
name, it feels more comfortable conversation, I can say, because whatever I had, the interviews, whoever I had been in, I had always interacted with them by their names. Even even in the first interview itself, I just accidentally told one of my senior interviewers by sir. He just impromptu said, "Don't call me sir. I am Praveen and all." So sorry, I was by his name and all. So he told me that you can take up my name. It's no issue, and it feels good as well. So that was
Yeah.
Right.
one of the thing. And yeah, other things are yeah, does it have to be flawless? I can say it depends. If you are good in your technical aspect, if you are giving point to point answers, technical questions answer, yeah, it doesn't depend in that matter, I can say. But yeah, if you're not that good in technical aspect, but if you're confident enough in giving your answer, be it shallow technical itself, be it in that way only, if you're confident enough, you just try to keep the interview to be as seamless as possible, because the more hiccups you have, the more bad impression it would leave into the interviewer's mind. So I can say that. And ending with a positive attitude, even if it went bad, I can say you should keep it positive all throughout, be it good or bad. Just the matter of time, you should keep a smile on your face. Even if it went bad, one positive thing you can look into it, like you can end it by saying like, yeah, I don't think I was up to the mark, but what I can say is like, this interview went very well, and I was very happy with that, and just looking forward for more opportunities and all. So yeah, just taking it positively, even starting or ending, is like the key thing. So yeah, that was
Right, right. So one question I related to group discussion, right? So obviously it's not like an individual where they're checking your individual skill. They want to see how you discuss in a group and collaborate. But one more thing is they may not short. They It's like your competitors, right? They will shortlist only few people from there. So what kind of mindset you should have? Like should you see your colleagues them like as a colleagues or competitors? How do you manage that?
I would
yeah.
feel like instead of seeing them competitor or anything, you just see that, just think that they don't know anything and you know everything and start explaining the topic, because that will give you more confidence. If you think that they know more, I don't know, I know less, then that will reduce your confidence. So think that they don't know anything and just speak out whatever is there. And if you're weak in that topic, then be more communicative, then it'll be fine. Like they'll see your communication skills in that if you're not well versed with the topic. And if you're well versed with the topic, then give more about accuracy, like numerical values. Like if they're asking about India or Indian population, then give numerical values. Because when you give data types, like exact values, they'll get to know that you are updated with whatever is being done now, right now. And you are like socialized, knowing, having all the kind of knowledges around you. That would give a nice impression. If you give a data kind of thing when you are doing a group discussion, that would make you a unique from others.
Stand apart from others.
Yeah.
Yeah, also
Yeah.
one thing I observed in my interview was when you answer in group discussion and even other person answers, how you collaborate with other person, how you add your point to them, that is how they see. Like how you
Yeah.
your flow connect with them. That is how
Hmm.
what they see.
Yeah,
That is
because
what I had observed.
people might confuse standing apart in a way that they might turn that discussion into a debate, and it should not happen
Yeah,
like that. You should not cross question.
right.
Even if you're not that technically sound in that discussion, you should support the other's answer by ending
Absolutely.
it with something. You should open it up, you should summarize it, what different people have told. You should summarize, yeah, yeah, this is the conclusion and all. So yeah, you can, even if you're starting any particular point after someone ended, so you can just start it with that, as the other person mentioned, adding to his point and adding to her point. You should be like these are the general group discussion ethics which we should follow, that
Right.
goes into the positive aspect of the individual.
Yeah,
Right,
but
right.
and
So I
it
think it's
would
a
be
balance
better.
we need to maintain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Always prefer starting first. Like it would give a nice impression if you start first in a group discussion. That little show that you are much more confident than other people in the group. That would
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
also a plus point when you start as
Yes.
first person.
Because the more you speak in the discussion, the more impact you will have. Because the three
Yeah.
people who are selected for advanced services, like those three people were, we were the three people who got selected. So in that last round, among the seven people, we were the three one who got selected, and we three were the only one who spoke for majority of the time. Like 90% of the time we were speaking, be it technical, be it summarizing, be it adding to the points of the others. It can be in any domain, but you should speak. You should not stay idle in the discussion.
Right, right. So yeah, it means maybe it's not exactly a competition. If maybe four people had spoken up and were active, maybe four of them also might have shortlisted. So they should not
Yeah.
think like okay, competition. They should just give their focus on
Yeah.
giving their
Yeah.
best.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Okay. So yeah, I think after interview and all is fine. Pro tips, if you guys have anything.
Yeah, I
Pro
would
tips.
tell over here that the Juno certification which we do, right? So in our JTAC interview, that had main role. So please go through certification properly and at least have the basics of Juno's OS architecture, the operational commands handy, so that if the interviewer answers you, you'll be able to explain the architecture, the routing engine, the packet forwarding engine, their working, their components. So we'll be able to explain them properly. So it would be better if we take the certification seriously and proceed.
Yeah, I would suggest, like if you are interested into networking or operating system, then just take some course or go through some YouTube videos which are having around 100 or 150 videos. Watch them thoroughly. If you want make notes, then make notes. Then you will be perfect. Like if they ask any question on that, you will be able to answer by giving a scenario. If you give scenario, the person in front of will be very much impressed, because he'll be like he's so much involved into that topic. So I would suggest suggest like if you have interview the next month, then start this month. If like from the scratch of networking, you will get many YouTube videos, which will be around 100 or 200 videos. Then watch it all. You will be thorough. Then no need of doing anything else. That would be enough and
Yeah.
sufficient, I would say.
Like for you, like did you plan beforehand only? Like I'll try for Juniper only and go deep in CN, or like in general you were preparing and you got it.
Uh,
In my
I
case, it
had
was yes. Like
yeah.
I was aiming for networking only because from the beginning of my engineer, I was interested in networking, like how we connect to internet, how this Wi-Fi works, how this router is there. This is all magic. I was like, how it will work. Then that made me crazy, and I was into networking only. Then
Okay.
before the interview, on this Nikita said, we were also said to do certifications, right? From that time only, I started preparing for computer networks and operating systems, and all with experience PPTs also, which were saying that prepare about this topic, do that, give scenarios and all that. From there, then I started on some channel that I found some channels on YouTube. There were around 150 videos of networking and around 100 videos of operating system, and I went through all of that, made some notes, and I used to go through that. And before interview, before 2 days, I guess, I just went through all the experience PPT which was provided by college itself, and that was sufficient. I guess that helped a lot. And for PS role, you also need experience in coding, because they'll ask you about coding also, which programming language you know, how much you know, like how can you solve. They'll also check your problem solving skills also, because PS is all about software engineer role. So you have to also be thorough with coding part.
Right. I think we
And
have very contrasting personas. I think Aman case we know it was totally unplanned for him, and for
Yeah,
yeah,
Soujanya it is like she totally planned for that.
I
yeah,
can say I
totally
was like
planned.
teleported. I was like teleported from electronics to this Juniper, and I can say
Right. Right.
I feel now I am very blessed to be here because what I am doing, I am currently enjoying it. I'm learning it, so I think it can be a blessing in disguise for me. I can say that. But coming to the pro tip part, I just missed on that. Yeah, I can say for the advanced services domain, I can say people who have done projects, they should be very thorough about their projects, because in all of my interviews, including the HR round as well, they had asked me about my projects. All projects, they had asked the explanation, uses, and everything. And yeah, it as I told, it is on the machine learning domain and everything. So people might have done projects in machine learning itself, so they should be thorough about machine learning concepts and the projects, its deployment if they have done, and it should be real. They should not
Yeah,
put any sort of
yeah,
fake project or
exactly.
anything. So yeah.
Because that
And
happened with me. They just
yes.
checked my GitHub repo that what I said. You said your project is there, right? You just give me the link. I'll go through that, because that happens. We should not be fake saying that this project I have done and there is no repo to show
Hmm.
them.
And
and
So
the
not only
other pro
yeah.
tip, I can say, in the group discussion round, you should be active. I can say that people needs to be active in that. Yes.
Okay.
That is true. And not only in technical terms, also like the hobbies, the other factors which you mentioned right in your resume, they also check over that. They also cross verify that hobbies which you mentioned, do you actually have
have
that as
it.
a hobby? So I just mentioned that I like cooking. So my interview asked me, please tell me how to cook biryani. So that is how they take time, but they make it sure that your resume is true. So please keep your resume true. That I would like to tell.
Hmm.
Please don't add anything for the names for the sake of adding. Just for the name that other person has added, let me add, and it will gain some weightage over there. It's nothing such. They will verify each who can look from your resume, and then proceed. So always
Right. Right.
honest. Honesty is what they see. As we
Yeah.
have Juniper values, be bold, build trust, and deliver experience. That is what attracted me over there. So I was like
Yes.
fascinated by the company's values itself.
And if you put some project, if you're not thorough about, and your some other teammate has worked on that, then sit with that teammate before your interview and ask him
Yes.
to explain everything about
Yes.
that project and then put it on your resume, because that will add very much of your value, because they'll go deep dive into your project, whatever you have done,
Yes.
how you have done, what coding you have done, everything they'll be asking. So you should not be stuck when it's on you, because everything is on you, because they're asking you whatever you know. So you should not stuck there. If there is some other topic, you can say that I don't know, that will be fine. But when it comes to your project, you have to be thorough about that.
Yeah, that is, you must have full knowledge. Suppose there is some a project, so make sure that you have a brief knowledge of the complete summary. So you're able to give a brief on the complete project itself. They won't ask that this part was done by you and other was done by
Yeah,
teammate.
exactly.
So that won't work over here. So always have a brief summary of the project.
So, what about you, Nikita? Like, were you planning beforehand to go in CN domain or Juniper, or it was unplanned?
This question was also asked by my interviewer because
Okay.
I was a computer science student. So, moreover,
Mm-hmm.
I was focused into coding and networking. And I just said him that I wanted to know like how WhatsApp works. I'm sitting here and texting a person and it's reaching to America. So I wanted to know in seconds, in milliseconds how it works. So I just then I got to know like when we had in a curriculum, right, in fifth and sixth sem, that OSI model does that. So like that is what fascinated me towards networking, and that is why I sat for Juniper Networks. So it was like pretty good.
Yeah,
Okay.
some of my networking skills of topics, you can say that it all goes to our networking teacher also. But he was really great. He also took
Okay.
us to data center and showed like how it exactly worked. That also made
Okay.
us more interesting to learn
Yeah.
how it is and all that topics.
Right. Right. So, anything else? Like any funny incidents during interviews? Anything else you guys have to share?
Yeah, I have one. In my advanced technical interview, that will say technical interview two, they were given a crisscross word. So they just tell you that something, there is a four letter word. This is, they give a summary of it and you have to guess the word. Okay, so there was a high written over there and six-letter word, blanks over there. And there was something like for assistants who help them, for assistants who call them. It was so I was like, I was like scribbling my head what it can be, what it can be. I was like, I didn't get anything. I gave some like guesses. They were all wrong. So I was like, might be my name is Nikita, a six-letter word. So guys want to tell me hi, hi Nikita. So that is what my answer was at last. They all
Okay.
started laughing and I was telling it was like, hi Google. That's what we
Okay.
say for assistants, Google assistants. So that was very
Ah.
funny thing. Actually, technical interview too was very kind of technique. It was going on very technical. I was very started being nervous. So then when this joke came into picture, I was like, huh, they're like very friendly people. I know them very well. So that grew more interaction again. So that is what at some point also if you try to be nervous, right? Interviewers make sure that you are comfortable and come out of that nervous zone. So it's just like you have to pull yourself and stay
Yeah.
strong.
That is one
Yeah,
of
never
the
show that
important feature.
nervousness on face.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is one of the important feature I can say is about Juniper placements, because the interviews it doesn't go boring. Even if you try to
Yeah,
make it boring, it
exactly.
won't go, because it will go
That is true.
interactive. They will interact with you, and they will
Yeah,
keep the environment very calm. So it doesn't go
yeah,
like a typical interview. It will be a discussion,
yeah.
even if it is technical or anything.
Yeah, if you don't answer
Right.
some questions, they'll be like, you just tell me which topic you want. We'll go through that topic only. To make us more comfortable and like feel more confident, they'll be very interactive and nice also to you.
Right. I think candidates, instead of being nervous or afraid of interview is coming close, they'll be more excited to hop in now. It's coming,
yes,
trying to be
that is
excited to
true.
the. Yeah.
Yeah, that is exactly true.
So, telling about the good
Sometimes it
things, how
happens
was your
like,
onboarding experience, benefits and perks, like work from home experience? How was it? Everything?
okay, like we were having internship completely from work from home, complete 6 months from home. So it was a great thing. Like we would have an intern connect every Friday. All the interns from different college would connect, and we would just talk like how what work is going on, what all that and all that. Then the manager which is assigned to you is also very cool. Like he'll be very nice. He'll be like, think me as your friend only. If you want, you can share anything. I at least have troubled my manager a lot. I used to call him for silly reasons also. I am not getting this mail. What I have to do? He used to be in
Yes.
some other calls also, but still I have to call him and ask.
Yes, we can say that I'm not telling about a specific perk, but I can say one of the important perk of working in Juniper is the work culture itself. The
Yeah,
people who you
exactly.
work with, be it your junior, be it your colleague, or be it your senior, even if it is a director level person, if you are talking to him, he'll be like very friendly to you. There is no
Yeah,
such like stressful environment around here. Or even if I'm specifically talking about my team, the manager who was I working under, he was at the directorial level position, but we used to talk to him every uh, every time in 2 days. Even if I was having any issue, I was like, that person, I want to talk to you, and can you just come online? He's like, okay, just hop in the call, and just we used
yeah.
to discuss and everything. Even I had discussed my gym routine with that directory person who was I working with. So it's like very chill environment.
Yeah, the work
Yeah,
culture
that
is
is
very
very
good.
nice. Like, because what happened with me and my manager is we used to have a sync up on every Friday. So he used to ask like, what is happening? What else are you doing apart from house, apart from doing the office work? Then what happened with me was I was having an under construction home for ourselves. Then he used to ask me every Friday, like where it has reached, what all I have done, which color painting. He would also say like what painting you are doing, what else you are doing. Like it was very nice. They would be give you like a family feeling, like taking all updates, giving their updates. Uh, uh, One time happened like I talked to my manager's son also. He's having a small son of 3 years around. I just spoke to him
Okay.
also. He was like very nice. When you're gonna come to our home, we'll have chocolate together and all that.
Very nice.
Yes. And in the internship itself, as it generally means it's about learning, but in many other companies it's about delivering what you learn. It's actually
Yeah.
more of delivering. Like they prerequisite that yeah, you know this, you should deliver this, and then only on that basis your conversion depends, because it generally happens in many other companies wherein the internship is the main criteria of conversion. So they basically evaluate you on what you deliver at the end. But what happened in my case, as I mentioned, I was zero in everything. So in the six, in the 6 month, they gave me like whole 6 months for learning. They never expected any sort of solid output from my end. Like my manager, whenever I had talked to him, he was like, "Whatever you can give me, it's like the best for me. If you are learning, that is more important for me because it will be beneficial for me in future." Because the learning is the most important thing. Internship, what it means is the learning process, continuous learning. You should evaluate yourself at every point. Whatever you have learned is correct or not, because we are here to provide you the opportunity, provide you a platform, provide you with the mentors, because the mentors were all exceptionally well in collaborating and everything. Whatever I had learned, I had presented, and they were like perfectly fine with it, as long as I am happy with my learning. So
Yeah.
that was the main focus. Instead of what we deliver, the main focus was on what we learn over here.
Yeah, and
Nice.
only they were not only focusing on what skills we are going to learn and what we are delivering and all that. There were some extracurricular activities also, like how we have Instagram, right? There is some another application for Junivators only, which where they'll post everything. Like they'll be assigning some people and they'll be posting updates upon some news or what they are doing during their weekends. There'll be some events being conducted. Like there was something called as bingo, which will be having all the events, like you have to have healthy fruits, and it is like you should do all healthy things and you will be getting one row checked. Like a bingo, how we play bingo, we have to make all 5 lines, right? In that way we have to do some healthy activities to scratch it out, make a bingo, and you'll be getting some rewards in that kind. You'll be having many more activities apart from only doing office work, you can say.
Yes.
And
Okay, nice.
adding over here, like though we had 8 week of training, our manager never said that it's just 8 weeks. It's like as per your requirement, convenience, as you understand the topics, let us know if you need any help, any training, any external training apart from it. They were always there. So it was not like limit for 8 weeks. It was like as per your convenience, you can take your time and complete the training till you understand. So there was not no pressure, no anything. The work culture was really good. And coming to the enjoyment part, it was like every Friday we have some activity plan where the whole team plays, the whole JTAC team comes and they'll play new game which managers organize. So it's a very we can say it was very enjoyable. So it was work from home. We enjoyed a lot through that fun Friday games. Every week we would
Nice,
be like
nice.
curious. More than customer cases, we were curious with aaj kya game hoga. So that was
Hmm.
the plan.
Right.
So
So,
like
yeah, I think I wasn't aware of all these. Like, I knew like they used to just send a lot of good goodies, like bag,
that is
laptop, and
true.
all. Because
Yeah.
my roommates were all Juniper people when I was interning at Samsung. Then I didn't know internal things. Maybe that time COVID hit and then work from home started. Probably then they started doing all these things in remote. So, like, how is it now? Like, have they moved on to hybrid or office? How is it now?
Yeah, it's an hybrid process. We are going to
Yes,
office from
Yeah.
July 11th.
yes,
Yeah.
actually, it has been turned to
Yeah.
hybrid. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not
We
like
So
have did.
compulsory for everyone. It's
yeah,
like if you want or if your manager requires you, you should come. But if you don't want, you should work remote itself. It's not a big deal.
So, how is the experience in the campus now?
It's all good. It's like first time we were seeing the office and was like too good,
Too
too
good.
pleasant
Yeah,
to see
too
the
good to be
yeah,
office.
true.
too good. Yeah.
The first thing came to my mind. It's too good to be true, actually, because I'm not sure because it might be the first experience which I ever had for any corporate office. I can say it can be because of that. But what I felt is this thing. It is like too good to be true because I thought like yeah, if I come here to work every day, I don't think I would be able to work. I'll be like enjoying over here, roaming around and all.
Yeah,
But then
Right.
that's
I know
true.
that actually.
That's true. It's like very
but then
interactive. If you are in
but
home,
then
I feel we have to work a lot. But when we are at office, we have to work very less.
yeah, yes, I can say that. So it's beneficial to be on your home.
Campus,
Do
yeah.
work remotely, then you will be able to deliver more. If you go to office, I can
You'll
say
be
you won't be
delivering
deliver.
very less.
If you go to office, you can just have cups of tea.
Yes,
Uh,
I went to like a couple of times. I was like having 8 cups of tea like throughout the session. I was like, I better not come. It's like it's not good.
Lakshman Rekha.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, and
Right.
in
Yeah,
case
I
of
think.
also, it's really true. You have heard right. Juniper is very good at giving goodies.
Right.
yes, yes. They did give
Yeah,
goodies and all.
very, very nice goodies.
Yes, and if you work well, it depends upon your manager. So they do give some perks in the form of points, like
Yeah,
recognition
yeah.
points, and also if you have done a good work, they would like give you some awards, which could be used for shopping and also yeah, that was one of the thing I wanted to
Yeah, I
mention.
had got it. I had got
Same,
it.
same.
I
I
had got
did, I did.
200 points.
Let me check on it then.
Yes. It's like apart from the goodies, apart from the laptops and all, so these were one of the additional thing which we got.
Yeah, exactly. That was nice. I did nice shopping on Amazon with that.
I'm thinking
Great.
to borrow something from Soujanya now and return back the ticket.
No, that really makes a big difference, right? Like even if you're
Yes,
having a salary, it doesn't make it's like normal. But if you get these goodies, you feel like, oh, now I'll buy something with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
yes, yes,
Yeah, here there is some policy also. Like if you get a bicycle to office, you will get more points. So if you want more points, then get bicycle to office. That is nice. I felt.
Right.
yes.
Yeah. I think anything else, guys, or we can wind up.
I think we had a very pretty good session.
Yeah, but one
Yeah.
thing I would
Yes,
suggest is be more confident whenever you are having an interview. Don't be nervous. Everything will be all right. You can just say all is well and go off. Then it will work very nicely.
yes, because there
Just
is one universal saying. It totally depends, like however skillful you are, it totally depends
Yeah,
upon your destiny wherever you want to land at the end. Because I have seen many cases where people were way more capable for any particular company, but they have landed somewhere else. So I can say people should not take it too seriously for any particular company. I can say that because I have seen many of the people. Because in our case itself, Amazon AWS came first. Then after that, Amazon came. So there were people who had sit for Amazon AWS, and I can say there were people who were capable enough to even crack Amazon SD roles as well, which Amazon came for. But then, as they were already selected for AWS, they were not able to sit for that and all. So you should not get disheartened by the fact that, yeah, there was some dream company of yours but you didn't get a chance over there. It's just a matter of fact that wherever you land at the end, you should make it your own area, or like you should be comfortable over there. You should be
Right,
like,
Yeah.
right.
yeah, it was destined for you and you should work upon it.
Yeah, and you should not keep like I'll sit for this company, I'll not sit for this company. Just give all the
Yes,
companies.
yes,
You will get nice
yes,
experience, and you will know that
Yeah.
how thorough you are with topic. You'll just get to know. It will be just like an experience. Later on, you can say in the last round that I don't want to join. That will be fine.
yes,
Uh, just don't skip any companies interview. Just give it. It will
Yeah.
give you a nice experience for your good companies, whichever you want further.
Because experience matters a lot. The more you give the interviews, the more you prepare yourself that this would be the better way to answer. The same question can land in the same company, other company also.
Yeah.
So experience
Right.
matters a lot. Always have
Right.
a
For me, in fact, I always give on campus as a practice only because I didn't want to get locked on
Yeah.
any one company. I was trying for
Exactly.
off campus. So yeah, that practice really helped.
yeah,
yeah.
Because
yes, yes,
I have given like 2 3 companies where I have been till HR and then come back because and later in Juniper this helped me like you have to be more confident, have a eye contact and answer nicely to not stuck anywhere. If you don't know, then say don't know. That will be like a learning process if you give more interviews, having more experience and more learnings.
Right, right. And adding on to this destiny thing, right? Like one of the real life example, a couple of my friends, they were interviewing for Juniper only in my batch, and one guy was chill, one guy was very hard worker, and as unexpected thing happened, like the chill guy, he got he's only surprised. How did I get man and you did not get? And this
same,
hard
same.
worker guy, he was like totally devastated. Like he did everything right. They asked him B plus tree, B trees, very complex data structure in finance all. So he was very sad, and finally later he worked out still, and as he was capable, he got really highest offer from our college for internship and off campus. So yeah, destiny really will be there. He was glad that he didn't get Juniper because if he had
Yes,
got Juniper, he might have settled like
yes.
saying, okay, I don't want to work anymore. It's good enough because on campus it was good, but because he didn't get, he tried hard off campus and got the best highest in on campus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes we can also not say like destiny might be having a very nice thing for you, so only you'll be getting rejected now. So never get
Yes,
Right.
like, sad or something like that. If you're not
taking
getting this, you will definitely get something else.
taking
Yeah.
my
Always.
example itself on that,
Yeah,
Deloitte was the first company I sat for. Deloitte. So I was like very confident, and I was like so prepared that if I get this job, I will be like free for whole 6 months now. I'll enjoy. I'll just go to college every day, sit for the classes, make notes and all. So yeah, but the only one round of interview was there in Deloitte. It went on for
yeah,
50 minutes for me. I gave all the answers, everything. I was eventually not selected. I don't know the reason. So I was like totally devastated. Like, why? Why this happened? I prepared so well for that. But now I feel like I was like very blessed at that time that I didn't get Deloitte. I got this company, I got this role. Because what Deloitte came for is like basically consultancy role, actually. So even if I would have got that, it won't be that good a role what I am working in now. And it's like basically it's like a good company, good environment, good role. That's all what a person or engineer wants. So yeah.
And add on, like for a candidate, I would like to tell them to have three things. One is patience, confidence, another thing is smile. If you excel in these three things, right, then it will be like impressive to other person who's talking to you. So always have these three things, because we
Yes,
can't always stick at one point. We need to progress, right? So always have confidence, the smile, which is very helpful actually. and the other one, patience.
And one
Yes.
more thing, like we should not just compare ourselves with anybody. I know that it happens that my friend has been placed, I have not yet been placed. That happens. It happened with us also. But you, as Nikita said, you have to have patience. Like you will get somewhere. You just have to not
Yes.
hurry and not lose that
Yes.
confidence. You will get
Because that
somewhere.
that hurry things come to every person mind, because
Yeah,
as soon as the
exactly.
placement season start, you see other people getting placed in the first company or in the second company,
Right.
and you start hurrying like why I'm not getting placed. And it's
Yeah,
just like beginning, it's not even a month, some two
yeah,
three companies has came and you start like worrying and all. So you should wait until the end, because there are many good companies also came to our campus till the very end itself. Taking the
Right.
example of Amazon itself, it even came after Amazon AWS, and even all the good companies has came by, and Amazon went at the very end. So it was beneficial for some of the students who had missed out on many of the companies. So it can be a good point to add on. Like you should wait and watch. Yeah, you will
Right.
be destined to go somewhere else if you
yeah.
had done the work. If you had been consistent throughout, you will get somewhere good.
Yeah, this
Okay.
track, like, do not compare with anybody. Whatever is good for me, I will definitely get that.
Yes, yes.
What we say, hope in
Right.
yourself.
Believe in
Right.
yourself.
Right.
Okay.
Regarding patience, I think one thought process I had was like I've been patient from first standard itself. Like I wanted to know how many exams I have to give in my life, rest of my life. So I thought only 10 standard is end, but after that I got to know it's still not there. So in my placement, I was like, it's fine. Like I didn't get COVID was there. I didn't get anything. Like even after 3 4 months in November, I got good company. So I thought like no issue. Like 10
Yeah.
12 years I've been patient. Another few months not an issue. I had felt a lot of times like, whoa, what was the worth of doing all this? No? But yeah,
And
being patient really helps. You have to
Yes.
keep putting the effort. Don't
Yes.
think of results today, tomorrow, anytime. You
Yeah.
just keep putting effort.
Yes.
Yes,
It just add-ons to the experience what you are getting. It will
exactly.
benefit you at the main point. The failures add on to the experience actually.
Yeah, it's
Right.
not just called as failure. It will be just like a learning phase, you can say.
Yes, yes, yes. Basically.
Nice. Okay, guys, I think we can wind up this really great session. It was really great
Yes,
talking with you all.
yes.
yeah.
Thanks, thanks.
Thank you,
And it
Thank you
would
so
be
Shashank.
much.
beneficial. It would be beneficial to
Yeah,
our viewers basically. Yeah,
Right,
because
right.
whatever we have told is like we have told to the all the minute details we have told from our best. So yeah,
Hmm.
if they look into the video till the end, it would be very beneficial to the people who are going to sit for the interviews.
Right, right. I think they got a glimpse of how the Juniper culture itself is and get a
Yes.
taste of all the roles that are there. They'll be really
Yes,
excited after seeing this video.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
right.
yep.
I just hope it
Okay.
reached to as many people as possible.
Right, right. Hoping the same. Okay,
Yes.
guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And
Thank
one
you. Thank
last
you,
Bye.
thing,
Shashank.
all the best to whoever
Bye.
is giving the interview.
Yes, yes. All the best. All the best to the guys who are setting for Juniper.
Yeah, all the very best. And thank you, Shashank, for having us.
Yeah, thank you so
Thanks.
much
Yeah,
for getting this opportunity.
Thanks,
yeah.
Shashank.
Thank you to
Thanks.
you
Thanks
guys.
a
It's
lot.
almost night 12:30, and you still guys dedicated to do this. So really
Ah, no
great.
worries. No worries. Basically, the
Yeah.
weekend. So
Huh.
good to wake up.
Directly on Monday.
So, yes,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. Just a Friday night, laptop off. Yeah, directly on Monday, 8 a.m. Yeah.
Monday.
Yeah,
Two
that is
days we
how
are
the
dead.
corporate.
2 days we
Exactly.
are actually dead for the corporate people.
You guys will be
We are
looking
alive for
forward to
ourselves.
Monday, I think.
Offline, completely
And it's
offline.
like from Monday, you start waiting from next Saturday.
Yes,
That is
yes.
what I do.
That is the corporate cycle which we follow.
Uh, okay, bye.
Bye
Yeah.
Bye,
bye.
Bye,
Shashank.
Shashank.
Thanks for having
Bye.
us. Nice
Thank
talking.
you. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Good
Bye,
night.
everyone.